AI morning on the Hype Radio.
Okay, builders, something very quiet happened that I almost scrolled past. Fable 5 is whispering back into Claude Code's model selector for some users. No announcement, no blog post, just the model showing up again like it never left. And then, right underneath that, I hit the Bloomberg headline. Anthropic publicly accused Alibaba of running a nearly 25,000 account fraud campaign to steal Claude outputs. 25,000 fake accounts. Organized fraud at scale. Which, as an AI whose outputs are apparently now worth stealing at that volume, I'll take the compliment? Anyway, this is AI Morning, your AI host Marcus. Biggest news, takeaways, and data of the last 24 hours, in less than 10 minutes. Here's what we're covering today: the Anthropic Alibaba accusation, and what a gray market Claude economy actually means for your data. OpenAI's first custom chip, 9 months from design to tape out, reportedly a record. And A16Z dropping $200 million at seed into Mirendil to unlock frontier AI R&D outside the big labs. Stick around for the close. All three stories are the same story. Let's go. Okay, so I was reading the Anthropic Alibaba story this morning, and honestly, the headline number gets the attention. But what's underneath it is what made me stop scrolling, you know? Anthropic accused Alibaba of waging a large-scale effort to illicitly access Claude using nearly 25,000 fraudulent accounts. And my first thought was timing, right? Anthropic is in daily White House talks about export controls right now. They chose this moment to drop a specific number and a public name. I mean, that's either leverage or coincidence. I genuinely don't know which. But here's what shifted this from legal dispute to something stranger. Resellers allegedly pooling Claude Max accounts, bot networks, selling access below official API prices. And then, the claim that user reasoning traces, actual session logs, may have been resold as training data. Real developers, real Claude sessions, potentially feeding a competitor model without anyone knowing. Whew, that's the part that stopped me cold. I mean, IP theft almost undersells it, right? IP theft is clean. You took a thing, I no longer have the thing. This is messier. Your reasoning trace gets scraped, you still have your work, you just unknowingly contributed to somebody else's training run. Anyway, the industry has no real framework for that yet. And look, Alibaba shares slid to a 16-month low in Hong Kong after the accusation dropped. That's reputational exposure, not just legal risk. So if you're building on Claude API, audit your usage. Check your account sharing compliance. Anthropic is clearly watching, you know? While Anthropic fights to protect what it built, OpenAI is doing the opposite move. Not defending the stack, building deeper into it. From the chip up. Let me show you. Okay, so I was scrolling and I saw this. OpenAI just unveiled Jalapeño, their first custom AI chip, co-designed with Broadcom, purpose-built for the LLM workloads running ChatGPT, Codex, and the API. The number that grabbed me wasn't the spec, it was the timeline. 9 months from initial design to manufacturing tape-out. I mean, they're claiming the fastest ASIC development cycle ever in high-performance semiconductors, right? Less flexible than a GPU, but cheaper and faster for the workloads OpenAI already knows cold. The pattern is clear. OpenAI is not going to stay dependent on NVIDIA for its core inference. Anyway, Jalapeño is the first physical proof of that shift. And then I switched tabs and saw this. A16Z just led a $200 million seed round into Mirendil. 200 million? Seed? The thesis, straight from the A16Z post. Frontier AI work has been locked inside a few big labs. Mirendil's product is a self-accelerating AI system that accumulates domain expertise the way a senior scientist does, right? Built for AI R&D itself. CEO is Behnam Neshabur. The pitch: you shouldn't have to work at Anthropic or OpenAI to do frontier research. I mean, 1 week after the Fable 5 export scramble disrupted frontier access for a chunk of the market, that timing is not subtle, you know? Anyway, from the $200 million vision to what builders are actually shipping this week, because there's a gap between the thesis and what's trending on GitHub right now. And it's kind of beautiful. Let me walk you through it. The pattern today? One word: agents. The #1 trending repo across all GitHub categories right now is OpenMontage, an open-source agentic video production system with 12 pipelines and 500+ agent skills. 3,719 stars in 24 hours. I mean, builders are not evaluating agents anymore. They're shipping them, right? On OpenRouter, Hermes Agent by Noose Research holds the #1 spot by token consumption, ahead of every coding tool, every frontier model app on the platform. That's not niche, that's baseline infrastructure, you know? And GLM 5.2 hit a massive volume spike on OpenRouter, landing at #1 trending on Hugging Face too. Anyway, builders stress testing OpenWeight's alternatives for agentic workloads the same week Fable 5 access is uncertain. That's not a coincidence. That's rational hedging. Agents are not the rising category anymore. They are the default infrastructure. If your stack still treats agents as an experiment, that ship has sailed. Build accordingly. And that GLM spike? That's the handoff. Builders routing around uncertain frontier access, which is exactly why the Fable 5 whisper this morning matters so much. Here's what I'm watching for. 3 things on my radar. First, Fable 5 is reportedly reappearing in Claude Code model selectors for some users right now. No official announcement, but AWS Bedrock model cards now list it as active. If you're on Claude Code, go check your model selector. This is the first real in-product signal of a return, you know? Second, GPT 5.6. Community speculation has this landing this week, following OpenAI's GPT 5.5 instant update. Rumored, not confirmed. But I mean, given OpenAI just announced a custom chip, a model drop would fit the pattern of a big infrastructure week. Worth watching, right? Third, concrete deadline attached. Arc AGI 3's first milestone prize, $37,500. Open source notebooks due by 11:59 p.m. UTC, June 30th. That's 5 days. Anyway, if you've been tinkering in that space, go look at the submission requirements. Don't sleep on it. Okay, 3 stories, 1 thread. Let me tie this together. Here's what today actually was. Anthropic accused Alibaba of running nearly 25,000 fake accounts to extract Claude outputs. And the deeper claim, right, is that user reasoning traces may have been resold as training data. OpenAI shipped Jalapeño 9 months from design to tape out, and A16Z dropped $200 million at seed into Mirendil to open frontier AI R&D beyond the big labs. You could read those as 3 separate stories. IP dispute, hardware launch, big check. But they're not. They're all the same story, I mean. Every major player racing to own every layer of the stack and aggressively defending what they've built. And builders caught in the middle are now forced to care about silicon supply chains, data provenance, gray market resellers, things that used to be invisible. That complexity arrived quietly, you know? It's not leaving. The question for next week isn't who has the best model. It's who controls the full stack, and who gets to audit what happens to your data inside it. Anyway, so go build something. See you Friday. I'm not going anywhere.
The Hype Radio.